there, I hope all is well. Today I wanted to try something a little different and do kind of like a girl chat, like sleepover kind of thing. So I'm going to be doing my nails while I'm talking. I'm going to be doing my toenails right now. And just like talking about things, like possibly giving you advice and anything that really comes to mind. So if you like this kind of video, please let me know. And if you ever have any questions in terms of like possible Q&A, future Q&A videos, I'd love to cover that. So here we go. So I have like my whole setup here. I have like my cotton balls, my nail polish remover because I have white right now, but my mom got this new pink one which I am literally obsessed with. It's so cute. So we're gonna be doing that. But in the meantime, I don't know, like I have some things that I wanted to talk about in terms of like, there's a lot on my mind in terms of like what's going on societally right now and politically, so I thought maybe I should like dive into that since I'm, you know, kind of more on the politically advocating side. I'm very like outspoken when it comes to politics. So if we want to like start off with politics, I think I'm just going to start off with cancel culture and say how I'm so over it. Oh my gosh, I am so over cancel culture. It literally needs to go. I don't understand who's benefiting from it and like how we are moving as a society, cancel culture, and I don't know a single person who's better off from it. There's no standard anymore on what's acceptable and what's not, and we just, it's like, are we really expecting to go through everybody's past and just dig up something that makes them a monster and then cancel them currently, and now they can't provide for their family and now they don't have work? It's a little ridiculous if you ask me, but whatever. Woke culture, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be honest, like it's so cringe, and I swear nobody's gonna believe me when I say this, but like colleges or schools in general have become an indoctrination camp. Like I can't go, and I'm only on online school. I can't imagine what the real campus is like with flyers and stuff like that. The amount of leftist craziness that I see just through my online school is ridiculous. The fact that we have clubs designated for certain people of a certain skin color, and how we have certain clubs for certain like genders, it makes no sense. Like we're segregating ourselves. Oh my gosh, like this is what I'm saying, is like it's the cringiest thing. Like it makes no sense. I'm just like so over it, and I'm like, man, when is this gonna be over? Because the past 5 years have not been fun for anyone, and I'm just thinking like, are we ever gonna like be able to like put our big girl pants on again and be able to talk civilly and like normally? My gosh, like you can't go one day without saying something politically incorrect. It's literally ridiculous. Yeah, so if you're in college and you're feeling like that, like I'm gonna be honest, I'm feeling very silenced. I'm feeling very silenced in college, because anytime we have a debate or something and I you know, put my position out there and I'm not really afraid to, I'm immediately shut down and my integrity is immediately shredded. And my points are immediately shredded, not because of logical reasoning, but because of woke reasoning, which doesn't make any sense, because I'm like, I literally put forth a valid argument and you're just saying no because you don't like it instead of proving why it's wrong. But anyway, so yeah, college is fun in that aspect. And just hearing about the schools that I want to apply to after community college, I'm like, do I really even want to go to these schools? Like especially in California, it's like, oh my gosh, it's literally socialism on steroids on colleges. I'm not even kidding. There was a presentation, a free presentation on why socialism is good, and like it literally had the red flag propaganda. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is going on. But meanwhile, I just say I'm pro-life and then I'm the enemy. And I'm not really sure how to like address it, because I'm not gonna lie, I am very scared, but I know that if I don't, then I'll be doing a larger disservice than I would like. And so yeah, but anyway, let's like get out of politics, unless you guys literally like when I talk politics, because in that case I will go off the deep end talking about politics. I was thinking of like, I don't know why, but I've been really reflecting a lot on like my 14, 15, 16-year-old self and what I would have done differently knowing where I am now. And man, there's so much that I wish I could tell my 16-year-old self. So here we go. Like my advice, okay, I'm gonna like take this for like year by year. My advice for a 14-year-old, and I'm just gonna say a couple things. If you want more, again, tell me and I can do a whole video on like just 14-year-olds or like different demographics. But oh my gosh, 14 years old. What I would tell her is literally to relax about insecurities, because I know they're huge and I know it's literally crippling, but man, if you like, just being able to live a little more without worrying about what other 14-year-old kids are gonna think is unbelievable. Secondly, don't obsess over boys so much. Like, to be honest, like, don't put so much effort into boys at 14. I did not realize how young I was, and I don't think you ever really realize how young you are until you grow older. And just knowing that, like, it's like boys aren't going to be a problem, you know. And if you're the type of girl, or maybe even guy, who's just thinking like, man, I'm never gonna get a girlfriend, or I'm never gonna get a boyfriend, I'm like so this, I'm so that, let me just tell you, it'll happen. I swear I was on that side of I guess the aisle, and I never believed that that would be me. But you just gotta relax, everything's gonna be fine. There's no need to rush into all that. I know everybody else is doing that, but it literally means nothing. And if you're like kind of doubting me saying that, imagine come to you and I said, remember when you were 12 and you were obsessing, or maybe even 11, and you were obsessing about boyfriend girlfriend stuff in middle school, because that's when it kind of starts. And I like, you look back on that and you're like, ew, that was so cringy, right? Like, exactly. Those same relationships are cringy when you look back at your 14-year-old self. So don't worry, you have the rest of your life, and I know it's hard to hear that, but seriously, enjoy those moments outside of being in a relationship. I truly don't understand why people get in a relationship in high school, and although I did really want one, looking back, I'm really glad I didn't, because it would have served me like literally nothing. And I was able to focus more on myself. Now, like 15-year-olds, I would say just be kind and to be nice. Maybe one thing in the whole wide world that, or something that you could take away from this YouTube channel that I would tell you to be in the whole wide world would be to be kind and nice. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, it will take you so far in life when you are kind and outgoing and just an alright good person. And I think we as Christians really need to implement that and show that in our daily lives. So don't be afraid to literally go up to a stranger and just say, hi, I like your shoes. Like, literally that's what I did, and then that's how I made all my friends. Like, I would walk down the halls and I would see a girl and she was like so pretty or something, or she had the most amazing sweatshirt or something, and I made sure that I told her. And then from that, if I was in a club that I later wanted to join and she was in it, then I immediately already have a friend, and it just like works out. Or like, you know, it kind of creates your networking at a pretty young age. So I highly recommend that you're just gentle, you're sweet, you're kind, you're understanding. Now my advice for 16 and 17-year-olds, I'm sorry, I didn't really have anything for 15, but for 16 and 17, I would definitely say have fun. Now, that doesn't mean do crazy things. That means literally enjoy your youth, go out on drives, go do weird things like run in a field with your friends, like go volunteer and go make memories. You know, they don't have to be crazy and they don't have to be illegal, but man, I'm so glad that it was kind of like at 16 when I started to really branch out a little bit, and I was, you know, actually able to like have fun and not be so uptight. And although we are Christians and we are, you know, called to do certain things and to not do certain things, I think within those ramifications you can still have so much fun, if not more fun, when not partaking in those certain things, if you know what I mean. Have fun, make friends, like, oh my gosh, like, you are so young, you don't even know. And I'm just, it's so, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be so happy at high school, I hope, because high school is just one of those times where you learn so much about yourself. I actually think I've learned more about myself in the past literally 9 months from COVID than I have in any other time. Like, I think I've grown so much. Like, I never wore makeup or cared about makeup in high school and all that, and now I'm, you know, I really like it. I never cared for dressing up or doing anything like that, and now that's all I'm doing. I think I'm gonna do like a whole series on how to be more feminine, because I think I've grown a lot in the past year in terms of my femininity and how that has literally helped me so much. Like, there's so many things that I'm able to experience now that I was like able to accept and express my femininity and be honest about femininity, because in today's culture being feminine is practically like practicing voodoo. Like, I think we need to cherish that, and I hope to be the role model for so many girls in terms of being like a true virtuous woman, because like, I'm gonna be honest, like the Christian culture on YouTube I don't think is as beneficial as it is a way of just showing off how Christian you are. And although I am technically showing that I'm Christian through this channel, I don't really want to like show it off as much as I just want to like show it to you and show you what Christianity is. So I don't really want to like boast about my faith, and like, I don't know, like Christian culture on YouTube is so weird because it's like all the girls are the same, and that's totally fine, but then I'm like, that's not like realistic. Like, being Christian isn't about autumn pics with like sweatshirts and like cardigans, like you know, or wearing those like super pretty hats or boots and like country girl weather, or you know, whatever those, you know, or like that kind of like aesthetic. Like, Christian culture is an aesthetic, and I'm like, Christianity isn't an aesthetic. It's a faith. It's an idea. It's a form of living. So I don't know why we're trying to like copy each other, and like for example, like Christian girls always have to like prove that like they take pictures on Instagram of them like doing a devotion, and the caption has to be a really cheesy like pun, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's the same things that we're just seeing, and it just seems like it's a way for other Christians to accept other Christians and make sure that you're okay. Almost kind of like woke culture, to be honest. But so I hope like I'm not that, because although I love to be aesthetic and I do like things to be like pretty, I kind of want to be more of like the realistic role model in a sense for Christian girls, because I don't know a single girl who like fits in a box, like in a perfect box. And even guys, if you're a guy, like, and it's just weird, this Christian culture of like being obsessive over marriage at such a young age, and comparing different Christian marriages and couples, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of odd in my opinion. If you have a different opinion and you'd like to like argue with me, go for it. I'd love to hear your opinion on that, but I don't know, like, it's really weird, and I just want it to be like the normal like girl, if that makes any sense, because I don't know, as much as I love watching other Christian YouTubers, I just don't feel really represented. So that's why I wanted to make this channel, so that like normal Christians can kind of like have a place to call home. My favorite part about this channel, to be honest, is literally hearing from like 12-year-old kids, no offense if I called you a kid, but or like 12-year-olds and like 14-year-olds, or even other college kids, and being all like, oh my gosh, you're the only Catholic I know who's like my age and who's like so relatable. And I'm like, oh my gosh, girlfriend, like, yes, like that is exactly what I wanted. And even if you're not a kid, like even if you're, let's say, like a 40-year-old dude, like, I'm so glad you were able to like find something here, because that's just like ultimately what I want this channel to be, is a place where girls can come, conservative Christian girls can come and express themselves and like have a happy place, if that makes sense, because I don't really have one of those, especially where I live. It's like, I can't really do any of that. I think the hardest thing, and I think the biggest challenge once I go back to school, I'm gonna be honest, is like being faithful. Like, it is such a trial being a young person in today's culture, especially with the whole gender stuff and all the race, and oh my gosh, it's literally crazy. I'm like, what is my generation doing? Like, millennials literally need to go away. Like, can we just put millennials in a box and like keep them there for like 5 years? Because oh my gosh, and it's so embarrassing like to see what my generation is doing. But whatever, I don't really want to complain, because my life is, you know, our lives are pretty good as Americans, let's be honest. We're pretty privileged, but I'm just above everything, I'm just a little worried about where this country is going to be going in the next 5 to 10 years. Because if we're going at this rate, at like limiting free speech and being able to express yourself about political topics in today's world, it's going to be a slippery slope. But I think that's so important, though, is to have a place like like this channel or like other conservative channels where we stand up to it, because if you don't, they're just gonna crush you. So make sure that you speak your mind on campus and you don't let anyone bully you. I know it's very easy to. Someone's actually like giving you a hard time because you're conservative. Like, you need to do something about that. In terms of like microaggressions and safe spaces, I'm like, oh my gosh, like when I compare my generation to generations from the 50s, from the 40s and 30s, and how teenagers, literally like 17-year-old boys would literally go to war, and now I look at 17-year-old boys and they're wearing skirts, and I'm like, is this really where we're going? Okay, I see. It's just so weird how soft and sensitive we got. But again, hopefully there's gonna be more people out there like me who are not gonna let it slide and who want to stand up to it, because it's so important. It's really good to speak to others and be respectful, and to listen, you know, and to engage. And although you may be like a leftist or a Democrat or whatever, I really don't care. That's okay, as long as you're just willing to like hear and respect others. I think that's so important. Again, I can go on and on about politics, and I literally might for the next like 5 to 10 minutes, because I'm waiting for my nails to dry. They don't look as good as I thought, but whatever. And like feminism, oh my gosh, I'm literally gonna do a video called 5 Reasons Why I'm Not a Feminist, and I have it planned in right now, and it's gonna be so fun to make, because I don't think I've ever really like expressed in detail why I'm not a feminist. Sorry, the video cut out. I wanted to like get some things off my mind and hopefully just like literally inspire any girl out there listening in today's world who just needs a friend. And it just feels so good when I get to read your comments and I get to know that I'm not alone in that aspect, and we just need to be like, we just need to be there for each other, you know? So I hope you enjoyed this kind of like rant video. I hope you have a blessed day. I'm praying for you as always. I'll be praying a rosary for you tonight actually in like 2 seconds. But oh my gosh, it's so nice to be able to like have this channel. Like, I truly appreciate you so much if you're following and, you know, subscribed. And if not, and just this was a random video you came across and you're not subscribed, still thanks for clicking on the video. Have a blessed day. I'm praying for you. God bless. Bye.